verse 291. All that is element made is not form, and form is not element made. The city of the Gandharvas, a dream, Maya, an image, these are not element made. In the previous verse we are told that mind is not born of the elements. In other words, mind, this is mind with a capital M, is not part of the world of mind with a small m. What this means is we have the possibility to be free of our minds. The conventional understanding is that our awareness, sentience, is somehow dependent on the brain, and the brain is dependent on the body, and so on. This is a story which we tell ourselves, and it's in total contrast to our experience. In fact, it's in total contrast to what's obvious. Now, you might prefer to stick to a good story about things. The thing is, without awareness, there would be no stories. Awareness being mind with a capital M. We think that awareness is something to do with the number of synaptic connections in our brain. Well, again, that's a story. These teachings here are very much about coming back to awareness and about not getting caught up in stories. The mind furnishes us with so many stories, and we identify with these stories. Awareness identifies with these stories. But we come back to awareness. And the trouble with this story that tells us that awareness is essentially dependent on atoms, is that it depreciates awareness. It detracts from the primordial function of awareness. It detracts from its truly miraculous nature. Because when you come back to awareness, you realize that nothing has any substance. Substance is another of these stories that we're actually coerced into accepting. It seems so ludicrous to not accept it. But if you come back to awareness, this becomes apparent. You see how consciousness works. Consciousness creates notions of substance. And you think, well, how does it do that? Well, you experience this every night in your dreams. When you see dreams portrayed in the television and in cinema, they're usually kind of wispy and vague and floaty affairs. But at the time of the dream, they're solid. I had some quite extensive dreams last night. Can't quite remember them, but I remember being disappointed that a free holiday that I was being given in somebody's house entailed doing quite a bit of work at the end of that holiday on the houses. I wasn't too happy about this at all. It was going to be a lot of work, but I had no choice but to get on with it. It certainly seemed very physical, very substantial. There was nothing wispy or floaty about it at all. So this is what consciousness does. It creates substance. It creates substantiality. When you come back to awareness, you can see this for yourself. Everything to the contrary is just stories. So mind is not born of the elements. But here in verse 291 we're told that all that is element made is not form, and form is not element made. All that is element made is not form. Well, then you might ask yourself, well, what do the elements make? Well, the thing is, there are no elements. The elements are another story for us to identify with and to limit our understanding with. So all this form, all the things that attract our attention, the point is there's nothing behind them. They're described here as the city of the Gandharvas. This is like castles in the air, a dream. Maya is the force of delusion. An image, like a reflection. A reflection has no substance. These are not element made. If I see a mountain in a dream, what's it made up of? If I see a mountain when I'm awake, what's it made up of? Well, you'd say it's made up of various strata of rocks and lava or whatever. But then again, scientifically that's not even true, because that mountain that I'm seeing is being transmitted to me through my senses, and my senses apparently transform the image of the mountain into electricity. That electricity goes to somewhere in my brain, and the image of the mountain is reconstructed there. What an amazing story. So all I'm experiencing is reconstructed electricity. Reconstructed electricity. All I'm experiencing is an electrical signal which has been interpreted as the image of a mountain. So the mountain's actually made up of electricity, isn't it? And I'm not sure you can call electricity a substance or an element. It doesn't really matter though. That's just another story. The point is, all our sensory experience, there's nothing behind it. It has no substance, there are no elements. And it's this insight which, as enlightenment practitioners, we need to keep coming back to. Because we're constantly being duped by the stories, the backstories that we're being fed. This is the theme of the previous verse and the next few verses. Realizing this is prajna, or transcendental insight, or simply wisdom. I spoke in the previous video how you can keep coming back to this awareness. There's a certain challenge in this. So if you haven't listened to the previous video, it might be an idea to do so. But if you can come back to this awareness now, the awareness which is hearing this, and if you can come back to this awareness in some appreciation of its miraculous nature, devoid of any backstories, then you're practicing enlightenment.